Are you interested in learning how to blend paint? Stay tuned. Hey, this is Rodney with the Rod Shop, and in this video I'm going to show you blending techniques. There's two kinds. You can blend the color then clear over it, or you can use blender in the clear. If it's a panel, it's a small panel like a bumper or a fender, I prefer blending the color than just clearing the whole panel. I think it gives you a better, more professional job and a longer lasting one. However, if you have a huge vehicle and you're doing a repair, you're not going to want to have to clear half the side of the vehicle. So you can also use blender on the clear. And I'm going to show you in this video both methods. The first method. This is an example that I recently recorded where a front bumper needed some repairs. We shot the color, blended the color out, and then cleared over. And you'll see here.
As you can see, the color blended just perfect, and then I just cleared the entire bumper, which eliminated trying to spray blender over on the corners. Of course, no matter how you're going to blend it, if you're going to blend the clear, which we'll get to that method too, or just blend the color, you still have to blend the color out. You keep having to fan it out in order to be able to match the old color, and I'll show you here a little bit later. Here's a great example. The damage on this bumper was in the very front, so we're going to put the base coat just on the damaged area on the first coat. And then each coat we apply will fan out and go out just a little bit further. Now you'll see this is the second coat, and the paint is being spread out a little bit further. And then on the third coat, I'll step in and then I'll flash it to each side. As you can see, the new color has blended perfectly over to the old color. And now the clear coat. Now as you can see, the base coat blended in perfectly with the old paint, and the nice thing of this is the whole panel, the whole bumper cover has got a nice fresh coat of clear coat to protect it from the sun, UVs, dirt, and what have you.
Here's the second method, and this is where I'm going to show you two examples. One is where I've got to paint a top of a cab of a truck, and you know how a lot of trucks are, they come all the way down, and I don't want to have to paint the whole cab. So what I did is I found the best spot on the sides where it was narrow and blended there. And I also have a quarter panel that I had to do a repair on, and I didn't want to have to shoot the entire side of the vehicle, so I did a blend on it as well, and you'll see right here. I've still got to apply my second coat, but you can see that I scuffed it about right here. I've only shot my clear so far down to about here. I will shoot my clear to the scuffy mark and just a hair over, and then I'm going to use blender. But I wanted to point that out in case you have to blend and you don't have a cutoff spot, you can do it like that. But I just wanted to point out that when you blend, you'll blend to your sanding or scuffy mark. Just try to keep it somewhat in line. You can just go a hair over with the clear, and then you'll use blender and it'll melt it into the original paint. Okay, I've shot my clear down to my scuffy in the spot, so now I'm going to blend it. I'm a mess from having this mask on, but I did want to let you know that this is the blender that I used. It's called Max. They also make a clear coat, a 2K clear coat, which you do not have to do this type of job with a spray gun. Matter of fact, it might come out better with a spray can because there'll be less air being blown around. Spray gun, even though it's applying the paint, it's also putting out a lot of air, and it can stir up dust and stuff as well. But this is the blender I used, and I'll put that down in the description. You can see here that I've blended it. Or actually, you can't see that I blended it. That's the point. So after a little sponge buffing and washing, okay, I've put 2 coats just to cover where I worked, and I went out just a little bit further on my second coat. So when you see me shoot the third one, I'm going to expand out a little bit more and flash the color, and that's what you call blending the color, is to blend the color out, but don't take over the whole panel. That way when it goes to, when you go take all the masking stuff, you don't see a difference between this color and that color. Even if it's a perfect match, it can still look a shade different. So you're going to want to just fan out your color a little bit each time when you pass. It looks pretty close on covering, so I'm going to do it one more time and come out and fan out the color a little bit, and then to be ready for clear. Okay, I've shot my clear. I've shot it right up here to this line where I stopped scuffing. Let me speak a little clearer. Shot my clear up here to this line where I stopped scuffing and sanding, so now I'm going to use blender to blend it into the rest of it. Okay, I wanted to show blending. So you saw me paint it and then I sprayed the blender in. And I remember I shot my clear up to about right here. And pull back. I shot my clear up to about right here, and then I sprayed that blender in just a little bit. Same with this. and you can see how well the blender does. When you see people, there's videos out there, and I've seen some professionals, and I've done it myself, and blended the clear to make it look really good, and where you can't tell that it was ever blended. But the reason why I blend the base coat, in other words, you shoot the base coat over top the other color and fan it out to make it fade into the other color, then you clear the whole panel, is a far better way, because you can see here all this pilling, and I'm going to get to why I'm pointing out this pilling here. And across the top is flat, the trunk is gone. Now the reason what's happened here is, I know the history of this car. Many years ago this car got smashed in the door, and took it back to the dealer, and the customer took the car to the dealer, and they put a new door skin on it. And what they did is they went blending crazy. So they shot the color on the door, and they sprayed probably one, or maybe, I doubt, because it says on the back of cans now, and it's recommended from your paint stores, only put 2 coats of clear. I put 3 coats of clear, period. The reason being is because UVs burn clear off. Clear is not durable as like a solid paint. Don't care what they say, that's just the fact of life. And you can look at enough cars today with clear coats on them to see them peeling off to prove my point. But nevertheless, what you're seeing is all where they sprayed clear and blender all over everything, and which is just thin. When you blend the clear, you're thinning it out to where there's hardly no clear left at all. You make it look good, and you make it look like it's blended in good, but what you've got is thin clear that burns off, except just really quick. Now, you go to the side that wasn't blended and cleared on, because I didn't touch this side here, and there's no pilling. I hope you found these blending techniques helpful, and if not, and you have any questions, be sure to just leave me a comment or go to my website. I have Ask a Mechanic service. The first question is free, which means, when I say the first question is free, that means if we're talking about oranges and it takes 200 emails, then that's one topic, and that's free. It's not a catch, there's no gimmick. I like to help my customers. So anyways, if you have any questions, be sure to ask. I'll be glad to help. If you have any other ideas on how to blend or something you want to add, be sure to leave me a comment. I'm always responding to comments, and I'm welcome to conversation. So I hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one.